I'm yours. Knocked his ass out and kissed him on the cheek. He fucked up just by thinking I was sweet. I run the city, might have thought I was some cliques. You never heard someone like this upon the beat. Tutti fruity, the booty duty is jury duty. Moody foodies, jacuzzis is filled with bougie booties. All of this money, don't know how to count it, man. I think I need a computer. I can't live in deep, man. I live at the funeral. I got no need for a shooter. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. The old label's drug dealers, If you build it, homie, they will come. If you turning up to save me some. Drive down to get your ego on. I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka waka flock of flame. I am a legend, and you know that I have a problem with acting a fool. I don't talk to police. I know nothing. I swear to God that shit is not true. I'm a barbarian, hopping adrenaline, looking for something to do. I'm remarkable. I'm on a roll. If you need education, I'll take you to school. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Wake up, brush off, get clean, look good. Put on 2 chains, flexing, but what's up? So fly, 2C, be you, look good. I win, you lose, fuck you, what's up? I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka waka flock of flame. Yeah, I'm the shit. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Now I think I will go catch your body. Fuck your bitch. Fuck your bitch. Fuck your bitch. Fuck your bitch. And then I will go take a potty. No teriyaki. I rock Kawasaki. If you're go. You can hop in the shotty. She popping the molly. We'll cop in the squatty. Oh, cookie, loving the body. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Sing this. 1 time. 2 time. 3 time. Hey.
What is happening to you guys, and welcome Dolphin fans to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan. I have a special guest host with me tonight, Khary, KP, the guy. I'm going to bring him up here momentarily, but before we get going, make sure you guys on your way in are hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new, share the video, help the channel grow. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, make the mild journey over to YouTube, get in the chat, get in on the conversation, and welcome to the family. Also, guys, before we get going, make sure to check out all of our great affiliates with the network, Fanatics. Link is in the description or at the homepage. Let them know we sent you by using the link. Get your officially licensed gear for all sports, not just the Dolphins. Some of you guys, you want to get some other stuff. I know there's some Knicks fans in the community. Boo. But hey, get yourself some good gear. Let them know we sent you. Also, guys, make sure to check out W Energy Drinks. Great energy drinks, no crash. You can check out the tutorial video that Shake Money got. He's getting ready to get a sampler pack. You'll be able to check out all that good stuff. Also, make sure to check out our friends at Backroom Collections, one-of-a-kind canvas artwork that you guys can find. And if you use offer code TFTG with W Energy Drinks and with Backroom Collections, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Also, guys, make sure you guys are checking out the website, tftgnetwork.com. We've got, up-to-date news, going to be coming out with one-of-a-kind articles, working on some exclusive type stuff. Gonna be just good stuff and great content, especially once the season comes rolling out. Just in-depth articles, pieces, and stuff like that from all the guys here at the network and affiliates alike. And there's awesome gear. Got a brand new Unleash the Gink shirt coming out. Got a brand new Cooking Folk Lou Rabbit Dolphin apron for when you at the tailgate party out there. And guys, make sure you're checking it out.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
So make sure you guys are checking out TFTGnetwork.com. It's a great website. We're all super proud of all the hard work. And again, there's be exclusive access, early videos, videos that only stay on the website coming in the future, things you guys are going to want to see. And, it's just we're tweaking it and working it and adding new gear and new swag all the time. So make sure you guys are checking out. Shout out to everybody in chat. Raph getting in here early. What's up, Raph? Salute my guy. Marinos go in here. California, the man, the legend, day one in this. Appreciate you, California, member of the community of the TFTG. Join the membership, guys. Be like California and go to the homepage and hit the join button. It's a great way to support the program. Shake money also in this bad man pajama. Mike, what's up, guy? Salute. Lou up in here. Dolphineer, another member in here. Salute, Michael Rodriguez, I see you. Mark in this what's going on, Mark? How's it going? Pamela, Lady Pamela, salute. Hello. B McD, what's going on? How's it going, buddy? 72 Fins logo. What's up, TFTG family? Appreciate you, bud. Salute. And King Mill, my guy. What's going on, King? Mako Shark Fins, what's going on? Salute. Aquavision, my guy. And of course, it wouldn't be a show if Michael K wasn't creeping around in there somewhere. MRI preferred customer, just Bills fan, just getting at us, boy. I can't help him. Joe, what's up, Joe? Salute, my guy. What's going on? Color in chat. What's up, Color? Facebook watching. Hello. Can't see who it is. You got to come to YouTube, Facebooks. Can't really, it doesn't ever show the name on here, appreciate you guys that do watch on Facebook though. But yeah, without, any further ado, I'm gonna bring up my guest co-host right now. Khary, what's up, buddy? You there? What's going on? Wait a second.
What's going on, Capo? Good to see you, boss. Can you hear me?
KP, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on, bro? Just chilling, man.
Might be a little frozen. Is that me? I got Lou and Color in the back. Can you guys? Oh, there he is. What's up?
Hey, man, chilling, man. Just hanging
What's
out,
up?
man.
What up, KP? Yeah,
hey, man,
boy.
In the house, Capo, in the house, bro.
Yeah, boy. I'm glad you came, man. We've talked a little bit about doing something like this, and I was excited. I've always enjoyed debates with you. It always come from a really intellectual standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, it's off this and that, but you always seem super calm and collective. You know what I'm saying? You never get turned up. And, something's been happening around in the community as of late. You might not know so much, KP, because I know you don't get down so much on like Twitter and stuff like that.
Right.
But Dolphins Twitter, Dolphins YouTube, this community, the Dolphins community, has had so many divisions in this time. And, I get it. sometimes we get on each other's nerves. Sometimes there's, takes. Sometimes there's just good old fashioned trolling, and they got you. They got you. You don't realize that you're losing your temper, and they don't even care about what they're arguing. They're just pissing you off and having a good time doing it.
I do enjoy the troll, man. Let me tell you, I troll. It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
So, but there's been this bit of healing as of late.
Sure.
In the community, and Lewis and Ennis on Twitter, you know Ennis, they've really kind of spearheaded this thing as of late to try to bring the communities together. And enough of this not listening to someone for any reason. It's just not worth it. It's really not.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, people's egos get trapped in, everybody has to be right. And when you're in the heat of the moment, passions take over. I'll be the first to tell you, I mean, I'm probably right maybe 49% of the time. So, you know what I'm saying? I've made some huge mistakes. Like I blew up on the last draft we had when we drafted the Cam Smith. But in retrospect, it was because I was ignorant of who this guy was. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, and once I looked at the I had to admit that, this was a quality pick, and he does serve our long-term interests, from the Fins organization point of view. So, it's just an example of how, you can't be right 100% of the time, and I'll be the first to admit to being wrong sometimes. Never sometimes. The CB83, though. Never the CB83.
Yeah. Nah. He's always wrong. He's always wrong. But, again, a good thing in this change that's happening is, bygones got to be bygones.
And I'm just kidding, CB. I'm just kidding, CB.
It just busts.
Props to you, man, and the beautiful family pictures that you've shared with us, man. Yeah, I love it. Got to support my homie.
So there's also like a little bit of forgiveness at times. It's just not worth all the animosity. Not when the crux of what the reason everyone's on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. We're just looking to connect with other Dolphin fans and engage in any sort of debate, sometimes heated, sometimes not. Sometimes it's very philosophical. Sometimes it's very informative. Sometimes it ain't got a damn thing to do with the Dolphins. It's got to do with some nonsense. And I like to oblige on some nonsense every now and again. You know that. So it's a good thing. And to me, I think we're heading for a real special time in this Dolphins, not just the team up and down with the talent, but in the fan base, in the totality of what we're gonna be as a community. And that's a great thing. And I'm excited about it, man. I am. I think we're on our way.
I hope so, man. Social media, like I said, people's egos get involved, and people tend to want to be right all the time, and it can exaggerate who we really are as individuals. But when you are at the stadium, at the tailgate, and you meet people face to face, you realize right away that, man, the beef isn't real, man. You know what I'm saying? We're all Dolphin fans. We all root for this team to win week in and week out. And we go forward as Dolphin fans. So
yeah, and again, in a perfect world, people don't get lost in the banter of what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, at the game, at the tailgate party, amongst each other, it's a couple of drinks, it's some nice food, it's some good things. The kids be running around playing, two-hand touch or tackle football. The family's there, and the community really hums. And
listen, two of my closest friends, Otto and Israel, are the biggest two-and-airs possible. You know what I'm saying? And I go at it with them because I grew up with them. I know, but I'm just not a Tua guy. I hope to be proven wrong when it comes to his performance, because that helps the team that I love advance to a place that we haven't been in a long time. But you're right, man. We can't afford to generate real beef based on
Yeah.
support for a player, things like that. We all want the team to win. So.
And I think we all know there's lines you just don't cross with people. It don't. You can give some examples, but like you start insulting people's families or their wife, their kid, like that's just a line you just shouldn't cross. And I get it. We all live with the angel and the devil in us, and so we kind of get carried away. But like, there's lines you just don't cross, and as long as we can have that enough respect amongst each other, then these heated debates with the community, when they get out of control, we have enough people around us that can get us back to center to get back to being productive in this community with each other.
No doubt.
I got Lou and Color in the back. I'm gonna bring them up for a little bit just to chop it up a little bit, and then you and I, Khary, we'll get into some stuff.
No doubt, man.
What up, Lou? What up, Color?
Dolphin and Color. What's up, fellas?
What up?
What's up, Khary? How you doing?
What's
chilling,
good?
Man? No Sunday night football, so I'm the rabid Doll fan right now, waiting for the season to start.
Yeah, boy, get his ass, AP. Get his ass.
Did you get your canoe fired up this afternoon, man? After that storm,
man, I went fishing actually last night or yesterday evening, and I had to cut it early because of the storms, man. So
what were you fishing for?
Huh? What was that?
What were you fishing for?
Oh, I was down on Long Key Bridge, man, trying to get at them snapper and grouper and stuff like that. I only was able to put in an hour though before the storms chased us away. But I go down there like once a month, do some bridge fishing. Sometimes I go out on some of the boats, But yeah, man. I'm reaching that age, Cap. I'm reaching that old age now where, fishing is more and more enjoyable.
Oh man, I love fishing. Problem is, in the area I'm at, up here in St. Johns County area, north of Daytona area,
Columbia, yeah.
The fishing ain't like it is down south, bro. Ain't even close. Ain't even half of what it is, bro.
Facts.
When I was, year and a half ago, not even a year ago, when I was living on the West Coast, over in Cape Coral, Lee County. God bless it, boy. That West Coast fishing is next level, man. Over there in the Gulf, catch everything.
Been there, done that, man. The trout fishing, all that stuff, flounder. To get that at the grouper though, you got to go way out. You got to go out like 50 miles. You got to go out like 20 miles to get to the drop off. So
find one of them grouper holes.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Good times.
That's good. Yeah, fishing is. Fuck, man, it's a great pastime, bro. I don't give a damn. That's good, clean fun right there. But Lou, you've been on the whole mend the fence, bring the community together, so we can get on to winning some football as a family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, I'm with the trolling too, right? And I'm part of it. That's how I kind of made my itch in the YouTube streets, right? Was going at people. But, I started coming around 2020, right? The team wasn't good, right? Let's be honest. We were a dumpster fire. We were just going through the motions. And this is where I'm at now. If you can't get behind this team, and I'm not telling you to root for a certain player or a coach who you like or whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is, look at the roster that we have in front of us. Now, again, it's on paper, right? It has to translate onto the field. All I'm trying to do is spread the message on Twitter, on YouTube, and just for whoever will listen. Bro, if you can't get down with this roster or you can't be at least satisfied with this roster, you might as well just go kill yourself, jump off a bridge, do something. Because you'll never be happy in life. You see what I'm saying? Now, am I guaranteeing that we're winning the Super Bowl? Am I, no, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is let's come out and have productive conversations without some of the, hey, here's my address, pull up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think what KP said earlier was spot on. If you're at the tailgate at the game and you're meeting people face to face, nobody's talking like that. It's, hey, let me make you a burger, grab this beer, let's chop it about the team, right? Let's talk about it. So that's what we should be doing here. Enough. Again, trolling is one thing. Like if I come up on a panel where KP is doing something and I'm like, KP, you don't know what the hell you talk. KP knows I'm not coming from a place of hate.
You did that to me on Friday, man. You was calling me out talking about I'm getting ate up.
KP, you was getting ate up, KP. I was just trying to say, you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
But look, all I'm saying is, hey, listen, I heard you earlier, KP. You said you're 49% always right. I'm 99% right. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between me and you.
You 99% right 48% of the time.
But listen, KP, am I off base with anything I'm saying though? Like again, we got to see it on the field, right? To your point, like I hear you say all the time, and I agree with you. You got to see it to believe it, and I hear you. I'm not going to hear to debate that. All I'm saying is, again, am I wrong by thinking that we do have a good roster though? Am I wrong by saying that?
No, man. Hey, I was looking at the front 11 on the defense the other day. It's been going around social media, this graphic, which shows every position is full, man, and with a semi-dominant player, especially our secondary. And then you look at that D line. If we stay in that 3-4 formation with Sealer, Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, that's as stout as it gets, And then I like Long. I like Long's game. I was one of the first ones in the community to call him the Black Zach, because I find that his playing style is a lot like Zach Thomas, the way he gets around blockers and can make plays. Granted, he's got some health issues, but then you got Baker. I mean, we're stacked, dude. You cannot argue the fact that the team is stacked. Even if you look at the offense, we got the kind of wide receiver core that inspires fear in every single defensive coordinator. Those DBs
I think we know. Go ahead, KP.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, DBs know when they face that receiving core that if they make a mistake, if they slip, that Waddle, Tyreek are taking it to the house. So you can't. I mean, not every team can brag to have offensive threats like that. So the prospects are exciting.
Color says something often. He goes, hope and faith. Hope doesn't require faith. And
right.
there's no way you can't be hopeful with this football team. Now, you don't need to have faith that it's going to be and be so convicted that if someone doesn't meet your level of faith in this team, it's poo-poo on you. Like, it's just, It's not necessary. There's no need to tell people how to fan. If you have so much faith, you should have enough faith that the team is going to prove them. I don't want to say prove them wrong, but prove you right. What I don't want is people who are proven right per se, or people that are proven wrong. I mean, the gloating, the receipt keeps, or even just the now it's I'm going to hold that against you. That ain't what this Dolphins community is about.
Exactly, Capitan, and it doesn't. People got to realize I don't want to be misunderstood when I say that hope doesn't require faith. The reason people are under the assumption that it does is because faith is a magnifier. So yes, faith absolutely enhances hope. I'm pretty sure somebody that has faith, their hope is much stronger than mine. I have to admit that is true. But it's not required. I don't need to believe it one iota in something that isn't going to happen or is going to happen in order for me to hope that it does or does not.
And let me ask you something, fella. Don't you wish you had more faith in at certain situations? I mean, it's a lot simpler. It's a lot simpler when you have it, right? It makes things a lot more simple.
It is. It'd be lovely to have faith. Now, do I have faith in aspects of our team? Absolutely. Are there things I do believe in? Absolutely. Sure. When it comes to the team. And I think that's where it really touches is that what Capitan's talking about with people coming at each other and trying to, hold things over each other's head. I tried to figure out where this is stemming from because, we all purport to want what's best for this team and all that. And in the long run, I realized that what people are upset about mainly and I can only speak for myself. So I know it sounds like I'm making it all about me. It's not. But in my particular perspective, it's that I didn't show enough faith. I didn't believe. So I need to be held accountable for not having that faith. And to me, that's just like,
It's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, to me, nobody is the arbiter or omnipotent or omnipresent and omniscient enough to hold me accountable for not having faith. There's only one being in this universe that may or may not have that ability.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just don't. I don't think it's worth it, honestly. Big deal if you're the right person or the wrong person. If someone, it's kind of like, someone's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and da-da-da. And if they fall on their face, okay, yeah, they might have gloated all the way to that point, and you might have to remind them of how much of an ass they made themselves look. But if it's hurting them, you shouldn't be
shouldn't take joy in that.
Yeah, you shouldn't take joy in someone's pain.
Exactly,
that's a psychotic type of thing right there.
Right,
and that is not who we are as a species and as a people.
Right, because gloating about somebody being wrong is not actually any different than the projection they put on haters when they say, hey, if Tua fails, you're going to be happy. You want Tua to fail just so you can say you were right. Well, it seems to me that some people want Tua to succeed just to prove they were right and not because they actually want the team to be successful. So it's the same thing in the inverse.
I've been called one of the biggest Tua haters. But last season, after that Baltimore game, I was happy to eat crow live on the air. I tried to be the first one to call in and tell everybody that I was eating crow after that Baltimore game. But, the reputation of being a Tua hater still stuck. You know what I'm saying? And hey,
so is the rumor true that it's way better with jerk seasoning, man?
Yeah, man. Jerk seasoning. You might have to curry that turkey. You know
a little bit of spice up in that much.
I was gonna say curry. You might need some curry to cover up crow, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. I'm ready. Like I said, I think just like last season, but even more so this season, the season hinges on Tua being who his supporters believe he is. If he is 75% of who they suggest he is, then we will be fine. We'll be just fine. We'll be threatening everyone because all the pieces are there. We just need somebody to orchestrate them, line everybody up, make changes when changes need to be made, and deliver when the delivery is called for, right? And the young man, to his credit, I've never said anything bad about him as an individual, and I have 100% confidence that he is doing everything he knows that he thinks he needs to do to become that guy. I have full confidence that Tua is busting his ass to be the best Tua he can be. So I don't want anybody to mistake anything I've said to suggest that I'm hating on Tua. What I'm suggesting, though, is that despite the fact that a guy like that does everything he can do, that doesn't mean that I have to then, pray at the altar of Tua. You know what I'm saying? I still
1,000%.
There are other quarterbacks who I think may be a better fit for our team. And again, if we review the last couple of years, the Deshaun Watson almost trade kind of drew the lines, a bit in this community. And then Lamar Jackson flirtation over the last 6 months, 12 months has also, created a little bit more of a divide. But then, there have been other things that have happened too that have created some of the, the polarization of the two sides, in a sense. But I'm not about that life, man. When I'm calling someone a Tua near or Tua sexual, I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? We're all Dolphin. We're all Dolphin fans in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Well, absolutely. Listen, I'm gonna be getting out of here. I'm gonna let you guys chop it up. I already know it's gonna be a great show, but just right here, because I agree with Nick, right? Hater or critic, there's a difference. And before I go, this is what at least me, where I'm at with the whole situation, right? I'm tired of the word hater, right? Because I think people just use that word, to Big Nick's point, when you're critical. And KP, you've known it. You probably think, listening to me for the first 2 years of Tua's career, and then last year, I get the word flip-flopping. Oh, Lewis, you're flip-flopping, right? Well, no. See, again, I'm not here to change anybody's opinion, but I just think when Tua was healthy and he was on the field last year, again, no man walking this world is perfect. So I think he made strides, KP, absolutely. I think he was very productive when he was on the field, right? So I can praise him if I feel like that. Now, I'm not saying KP has to do it or anybody else in the fan base has to do it. But this word of hate, because again, KP, I'm going to be very honest. If week 1, Tua Tagovailoa goes up to Los Angeles and he plays like dog water against the Chargers, I'll be the first guy on this panel to light Tua's ass up on fire.
The pressure will be on at that point.
The pressure will be on. But I just think that what we need to stop doing, right, is, what Tua can't do or what Tua hasn't done. Let's just move forward. Let the play on the field dictate.
Right. None of the boxes he checked this year are going to be unchecked. There's no no reason to continue he's got this problem. There's no reason to continue to criticize him for boxes he already checked.
Yeah.
Now, my thing is, until we win something, I'm always going to find something to criticize every player for until they check that box. You know what I mean? And Tua was rolling along last year, checking all kinds of boxes for me, and it got put off. It got shelved. Whatever you want to call it, the list ain't finished. And he's got another chance. He's got another chance to check the rest of the boxes, and for whatever the powers that be, and that's the way it is. So I'm going to tell you what those boxes are going forward, and I don't see that as a form of hate.
No. And before I get out of here, just what I'm trying to say is, right, and again, we always talk about Tua, but what I'm saying is it's not only with Tua. Let's be critical of the team, or let's praise the team. It doesn't have to. Again, what is our motto? We fell in love with the logo, not a player. Correct? And that's Tua, that's Austin Jackson, that's Liam Eichenberg, that's Devontae, whoever you want to name. So with that being said, again, come out, be critical of the team if the team is playing bad. But if they're playing good, we should all be able to come together and praise them, right? And that's how everything can get on an even keel. That's how we can all come out
and
say,
Lou,
we're being
Lou,
objective
to your
about
point,
the situation, right?
To your point, where we sit right now, it's only up from here. It's only got the potential to go up from this point. If things start getting off the rails, we need to not be at each other's throat on it. We got to hear each other, because listen, if we start, God forbid, start the season 0-3, we can't lose our minds about it too. You know what I'm saying? We got to look objectively. Exactly. Now, if the defense is starting slow, or if Tua's coming out flat, or Mike McDaniel just is trying to roll back the same stuff and teams have keyed in on it because of what happened last year, we got to be objective enough to look at this and dissect it. Now, we find ourselves at the end of the season, and it's collective of what it is that caused the failures of the season. We got to address that. But I mean, up and down, and I've been critical of the ownership. I've been critical of Chris Grier, who I am a massive Chris Grier supporter. For all of his shortcomings, the man has put together, top to bottom, one of the best friggin' rosters I've seen in this organization as a lifelong Dolphin fan. There's some misses. There's some gambles, but I defy you to find anywhere where everything's 100%. If that was the case, there'd be a team and a GM that built the perfect team every year, and everyone would know it. You know what I'm saying? So on paper, that's how it could be. But I can't ask any more from my organization, from everyone involved, selling out and buying in and going all into this direction, that now I gotta show my end. I gotta show not the faith, but the hope, which is not unwarranted. This is not, an empty promise that is being given to me by these Dolphins right now. This is a team at this moment that you should be as hyped as you've ever been. Now, could things go wrong? Absolutely. When they do, we're going to see it. We're going to know why, and we're going to go, damn it, no more. Because at this point, we have a window with this team currently constructed to make real noise in this NFL.
I gotta follow that up, Capitan. It's just so it's 2 points you made that I found myself reviewing some content from last year right around this time on a friendly network. We all know them and love them. It's on in the morning. And I was watching this episode in this panel, this Wild and Out Wednesday, from about this time last year. And damn if I wasn't saying the same thing, telling you all, first of all, hey, if we start out 1-3, I'm not going to be out there blaming the quarterback just yet. I'm going to be fair, blah, blah, blah. Just like you just said, we start out 0-3 where the sky ain't falling. Let's figure out what's wrong. It might not be Tua. It could be, but it might not be this and that. Said 100%. The same exact thing this time last year on this show, and then followed it up by telling the audience, because of course I was a lot newer to the whole YouTube thing at that point last year, and a lot of people didn't know me, so I was still in the kind of introducing myself to y'all mode, and I flat out just witnessed myself earlier today from last year telling you all that this is the point in which the off season where I personally normally turn around and say, okay, it's time to start talking about how we can win, and instead of the stuff we need to fix. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's all about hope going forward. It is time to be a fan now. It is time to say it is time to support this team and everybody on it. It is what it is.
I agree.
The roster's set. The soldiers are in place.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm gonna bow out of here. Salute to all the guys. KP, always a pleasure, my dude. You already know, and continue the great show, man. Love and peace and chicken grease.
No doubt.
I'll let y'all.
Yeah, thanks, boy. We'll see you, Lou.
Later.
Keep cooking.
See you later, man.
Well, see, but I agree with you 100% there, Color. The only thing is, as you probably saw on that tape, there was major excitement at this time last season too, and for us older fans, we've been here before. That '95 team where we loaded up. When the shoe was last year's, man, I remember those days, man. I thought we were gonna kick some major ass, you know what I'm saying? And us older fans, we've seen capitulations in the playoffs, even with Marino. So, burn me once, burn me twice, So I think there's some jade. I'll admit, like when CB criticizes me and says, "Man, I sound like an old, stressed out guy," it's because, I'm an old, stressed out guy. I've been tired of rooting on these moments and having it.
It's like telling a toddler they sound like a toddler.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm aware of how I sound. Okay, damn it. I get that.
Right. Now give me my damn lemonade.
Now I'm hungry, so give me my foods.
Exactly. Give me
and
my Super Bowl championship.
Yeah,
I
give me my biscuit.
remember I cried at 10 years old when we got thrashed by the San Francisco 49ers. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I've not gotten over that pain.
Khary, at the same time, I also teared up when Greg Camarillo was walking off that touchdown, man.
That was a beautiful moment. Yeah. We failed forward fast.
There's a place around here that used to host massive. It was a Dolphins community. It's a restaurant. It's called Hijackers. They've since had an ownership change, but there's a new owner that's going to be bringing back the Dolphins community. I'm going to reach out and talk to him and try to do some live shows there. But this was the spot, because we're out where I'm at. You don't get it on the local broadcast. So if it wasn't televised, I might as well have been in a different state. You know what I'm saying? So unless you had the ticket, and back then it was, you needed to have, a password from a city official and your blood type, and sign over part of your soul to get the game at times. So we would go to this restaurant and all these Dolphin fans, and it was an amazing thing because every week we had such a terrible team that year, the Greg Camarino win against the Baltimore Ravens. Every week, just all these Dolphin fans showed up, and we were just waiting for it. And when it happened and we won that game, the jubilation in the place, you would have thought the building was going to come down. How excited everybody got. That was our Super Bowl
that season. Sure.
It was an amazing feeling, but you know what? It was endearing. It was endearing to see how much these people would endure as fans to just be in love with this team. It was a great thing.
And you know what? People, a lot of times people throw that around to make fun of people. Like, oh, that was your Super Bowl. You know, we do that a lot to each other, is from fan base to fan base. But there's a reason we felt like it was our Super Bowl that year, because Miami Dolphin fans have one thing that a lot of other fan bases don't have, and that's self-respect. And to go 0-16 would be unacceptable by this franchise, and there's no way I could have come back from that. There's no way I could follow a franchise that doesn't win a game in a season. I just can't.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that makes me lesser a Dolphin fan than the next guy. Okay, but there's limits. You know what I mean? And if you can't even produce one win, I'm sorry. That's it. And so when we got when Camarino was running off that touchdown, man, it was like, thank God. I was crying because my fandom was saved.
Tables.
My fandom was saved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a real surreal moment for the community. And, again, the games are filled with moments. The going there live, watching amongst the people. Now with all the YouTube and stuff like that, these moments are shared, and they are what they're made into because of the community. And when
every single one, B McD, that's right, every single one, man.
It's something that, with this team on the rise, with this team, just how talented it looks and the potential of where we could be heading as a franchise, top to bottom, with the talent we have signed, the young budding talent we have. And admittedly, so there's big question marks, especially at the most important position at quarterback. I think, everyone, even the most staunch Tua-neer, or person who is a Tua only guy or gal, can admit that there is question marks, but the hope of the horizon is not unfathomable. When you look at it and you see it, you're like, yeah, man, we really got something cooking right now. And when I started this, it's the Dolphin fan far and wide that doesn't have the community, that doesn't have the Dolphin fans around, and they don't have the local place that's going to show the Dolphin games. And there's nowhere for them to bring this. And there's such an availability. We're in the golden age of Dolphin fandom. It wasn't too long ago where you couldn't find a lick of nothing about the Dolphins. You couldn't find anyone to talk to you about it. You're driving your wife crazy, your boyfriend crazy, your kids, your family. They don't want to hear it. They're not like that as us. Now, you have certain buddies and friends and family that are like it, but not to the extent that a lot of us get to. And now we have an absolute treasure trove of availableness to us. It's amazing.
Say what you want about this YouTube and now the Twitter Spaces, but one thing that both of those things are is just fun. I mean, exactly. It's a lot of fun to go on there and exchange thoughts with other people, find out what they're thinking. Like you said, we talked about trolling. Trolling can be fun sometimes too. I got to give a big shout out to Pete, the master of all trolls.
Yeah.
Who's right most of the time, by the way. But got to give a shout out.
Khary, it's amazing you say that too. That's the third thing that was very similar. What I noticed when I was watching that show today from this time last year. Oh my gosh, it was amazing how much Pete, how prophetic Pete is. I'm just telling y'all. You all think he ain't right. Sure, he's wrong a lot. But boy, when he's right, he is
Listen,
right, man.
broken clock right twice a day, you guys. Don't get me wrong, Pete, Troll
Oh, it was
King.
more than twice a day, bro. Like everything he was saying in that show has come to fruition, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, listen, I don't know nothing on Pete. Again, and Khary, KP, you kind of made the point that as long as a Dolphin fan as I've been, I'm 37 now, been
Sure.
it my whole life. I was born in South Florida. I know no other. Football is a pastime in my household and in my family. It's what it is. We played football. We went to football games. We did all that, and we continue to do so. It's into my son. It'll forever be in this family for years to come. There's a long history.
I could have said those same words exactly.
There's a history of jadedness because of, when you love something, what you love is the only thing that can truly hurt you. And this team has hurt us. It really has. It's hurt us.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, we're going to always stay together for the kids. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never quitting you, baby. I love you so much, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to ever let you go. And the better days are the best days. And I just don't want any fan somewhere far away come into the Dolphins community, be it Twitter, YouTube, and see that like, oh, I don't know how to get in to fit into this community. I don't know if I can be comfortable enough to come up on this panel and chop it up and get into a healthy, a fun laughter debate. And then at times really just go at each other, but know that you're in a safe place to express yourself in a way that this can be not just a release, but like, just a whole thing. It's a community and family fight, family love, because that's what it is. You're only gonna fight and hate something you love that much, and that's what I think we're heading on to greener pastures with a lot of this stuff. This community with this football team, thank God. I mean, if we were a shit show, this team would be a lot more fighting against each other. This community is going to be able to come together, and if things, pan on to the way we hope to, this community is going to be a force to be reckoned with amongst, versus to when we measure to like, what the Jets community is or what, the Patriots community. Like the Dolphins numbers and reach are so next level that if there's some form of unified front across platforms, across the stadium, on the travel, good luck. And we're a team and an organization that has always been well represented by the fans.
Yep.
That's right. When this team starts winning, the NFL is going to turn into like the Matrix from part 3 when everybody just turned into Smith. Everybody's just going to turn into a Dolphin fan. Like they're just going to fall in the line.
We talked about it last year, man. Miami is the gateway to the rest of the Americas, right? Gateway to the Caribbean, Latin America, etc. And it already has huge fan bases throughout, the Western Hemisphere and the Caribbean. If they could bring a winner to an international place like South Florida, man, that will resonate beyond the United States in a way that a Green Bay championship might not. You know what I'm saying?
Perfectly put.
Or
Perfectly
Dallas.
Put.
Yeah. So that's why. God damn it, we got to win. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, it is what it is, man. But like I always tell you, I mean, like I was born in Nassau, Bahamas, right? And you go to anytime you go to Bahamas, the number one team people root for is the Miami Dolphins, followed by the Dallas Cowboys. Sharif could tell you. I haven't seen Sharif in a while, but the Dolphins, they're guys like the upper class in Nassau. They come over in big groups and attend games. And, it's like one of these undercurrent stories of Dolphin support. The amount of money and investment that people overseas put into this team. That's just one example of that. So, yeah, man, if our franchise can turn the corner and produce a winner, it'll be a party like you've never seen before, man. The pots and pans will come out. The steel drums will come out. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe a couple of bang, in the sky. Exactly. Not supposed to, but, they get crunk around here. So, it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, It is what it is, man.
And I can't think of another fan base that's held in through thick and thin that's more deserving at this point, honestly.
It's been a while.
mean, we have held in there, and we will continue to hold because, again, it's gonna come, and we're gonna be here for it, and that payoff is gonna be something else, buddy. That payoff is gonna be something else. And I just don't want anyone to not be able to converse with any other Dolphin fan about what has made them happy or mad about this team. So with that, let's get on to some of it. Let's get on to a little bit. I mean, the offense, we know, stacked, stout. There's a million and one things that we saw last year that are great. I think there's some minor tweaking in play calling, situational football. Obviously, some health concerns, and it's not just Tua. I'm thinking of Austin Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of this running back room. I like the young buck. I'm not saying that there isn't a piece here or there that could be added to bring this up. And, everyone, the hot ticket item right now is Cook. When we can delve into that a little bit. But to me, and the defense last year, a lot of defense gets a lot of blame. It really does. Situational football, as far as defensive coordinating goes, there was some blunders at times. I think for all in all, when you take into account the injuries on defense, it's not as bad as it could have been, to be honest with you. But when I look at this team on paper, and if they stay healthy, what this defense can be with Fangio at the helm, and what that's going to do in concert to helping the offense be that much more effective as well. I am so excited about all of this. And Khary, I want to throw it to you. What do you think of this defense right now?
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, all positions are filled right now. But I think what we need, the corner we need to turn with Fangio is a return to what Brian Flores produced at his best as the head coach, which is turnovers. We need to get these guys making plays. We need to get Xavier and Howard up in that 5, 6 or more interception range. Javon Holland should be making more plays. Jalen Phillips needs to add 4 or 5 more sacks on his tally. Where's Bradley Chubb? Who's seen Bradley? We need to see the real Bradley Chubb. You know what I'm saying?
Stand up.
These things are poised to happen, though. So if they do, our defense, like the speed we have on the outside with Chubb and Phillips, it's enticing. You know what I'm saying? But, if it manifests, we will be very exciting from a defensive standpoint. Also, Raekwon Davis, he's the man in the middle. He's probably more important than a lot of people would know. And last year he battled that knee injury. So I'm anxious to see if he can hold up in the middle. I think John Jenkins is gone. So, I think that's a key for us going forward. And then again, Long, we'll see what Long can do to solidify things, be our cleanup guy. I didn't think Landon Roberts did that bad last season, but, I'm sure Von Joe would disagree. But,
Landon Roberts, something that gets lost in the shuffle was how much
of
a
first
team.
and second down guy only. He was not in on third.
But not just that, but how much of a team guy he was, not just with the defense, but the offense. There is something that will be missed in the character that's lost in the locker room. I think it's just about consistency and health and really just, I'm going to need that guy late in the season. It seems like this is a team built with depth at positions. There's some question marks. Inside linebacker, Jerome Baker's good. A lot of people like to hate on him because of the money he makes. But, I don't have nothing against him,
he's
man.
solid.
He's a solid guy.
And then another reason why I had to retract my initial view on a draft pick was, with Aaron Rodgers in our division now, there's a premium on cornerbacks. You're going to have to, match up with these other wide receiving cores out there. If one guy isn't cutting it, man, throw in the other guy. Cater Kahu rolls his hand, So hey, we're stacked, man. We're ready to roll, man. Let's just let's put it on the field now. Let's roll it out and see what happens.
So when I and I've said this before, when I look at this Fangio defense from the roster currently constructed, now there's a lot of talk about, when we look at the history of Fangio's schemes, that zero tech defensive tackle right in the center there for that 3-4 scheme that he's going to run is paramount. It really is.
Critical.
It's super critical. It really is. But to me, there's no dump truck sitting in the middle, even if it's Raekwon, even if it's Sealer, even if it's Christian Wilkins. What do all three of those guys have that I think when I look at them, I think they have a lot more speed than you would get out of any zero tech guy you would put in there. So I look at it in this aspect. At any given moment, one of those three guys can be on the left or right side as the tackle. And then you're looking at guys like Emmanuel Ogbah. You're looking at Bradley Chubb. You're looking at Jalen Phillips. You're looking at all these other guys that are big dudes, able to hold their blocks, able to hold their lanes, while also having the agility, the hip movement, all the fluidity you would want out of a front three or front four to really put pressure, not just, in the passing game, but also hold their blocks to keep up gap schemes for what? You're going to have to cut inside running back, and the linebacker knows it. These guys are going to hold their positions. That's going to be the only hole open for you, and the linebacker's going to come up and fill it. And there's something I think we're going to see out of this. I think we're going to see a 3-phase hybrid football team on defense, meaning that the guys up front, the guys in the middle, and the guys in the back are going to have a fluidity to interchange in some aspects where it might show there might be 5 DBs on the field, but at any given moment, one of them are going to line up as a linebacker. Well, one of those linebackers is going to sit down as a pass rusher now. And now you're looking at, a 5-2. You got 5 guys up front because one of the linebackers have stepped in as an inside blitzer, and you've got 2 guys in the back, but one of them's a DB. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking at what I would do with the talent and the cohesion on this football team. And a lot of these guys have had, varying snaps in other roles, There's something special that could really come out of this defense. I mean, outside of Jalen Ramsey, everyone's played together.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The versatility that these guys bring on the D line. I saw, last season I saw before he got hurt, Ogbah lining up at the defensive tackle in those nickel and dime packages and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a guy who can shift inside. Christian Wilkins, versatility. He's an inside guy, but he can hold down an edge. You know what I'm saying? Zealer gets penetration on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Again, I think the question mark is Raekwon Davis because, I'm not the biggest expert on Fangio and his track record. Maybe Color could fill me in on it, but I know. Well, I've heard that the nose tackle, like you just said, Cap, is premium, and so a guy like Raekwon, I don't know if he's the right guy because to me, he's more of a shade defensive tackle himself, a penetrator, and he's been pushed into that role of being, the nose, the clog, the guy who takes on 2 blocks, and so other guys can get off. And so again, I think that's a linchpin for this defense. It's an axis upon which the success of this defense is going to turn. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure Greer isn't done yet either. In free agency, we'll see who gets cut. Don't be surprised if we bring in another, defensive tackle to add to the mix. A guy who's more of a traditional nose, so the other guys can get off around him. But yeah, man, the defense is stacked, man. And you know what? The defense kind of resembles the offense in terms of focusing on speed, threatening speed from multiple positions. It's a multi-positional threat where the blitz can come from anywhere, the pressure can come from anywhere, and vice versa on offense. Man, our speed can break the game open at any from any position. Also, whether it's the receivers, whether it's the running backs, the only question on the offense is the tight end position, in my opinion. And then, the three-letter QB1 Tua. But that's I'll leave that one alone. No controversy.
We riding with Tua, and
we got to.
We have to at this point. And not only that, but it's not even close who gives us in our quarterback room the best chance. I'm not saying that there isn't things to like about Mike White, or there isn't potential with a Skylar Thompson and how he has potential. But if we're talking reality in this year and probably next year of what's going to take us somewhere, it's got to be Tua. And if it's not,
this is Tua's game to win or lose, no doubt.
That's it. And if it's not him, and we find ourselves with still questions, and in a situation, the organization's going to have to look and see what they got to do to help catch us in the right time. But for the time being, in the foreseeable future, this kid gives us hands down the best shot to take it to the playoffs, be a force in the playoffs, and get us a Super Bowl. It's the only guy that we got. So when I look at the offense, I agree with you about the tight end position, but I kind of like what they've done. It's a mixed bag of nuts with these guys a little bit, but and shout out to Liz renewing her membership. Salute, Liz. It's a little bit of a mixed bag of nuts, but it seems like to me it's Mike McDaniel just tightening a screw here and there on the offense. A guy I'm really high on is A-Chain. I am super excited about the potential of what that guy can become as just a real mismatch. If this young man can, if the stage is not too big for him, and he just looks as fast as he's looked in college and comes up and he looks that same way in the pros, he's going to have opportunities that's going to showcase his skill set. Because, let's face it, you've got Tyreek Hill on the field. You've got Jalen Waddle on the field. You're going to have to account. You got to have a minimum of 3 guys to handle those 2 guys, a minimum. Some teams are going to bracket coverage, and really there's going to be 4 guys where, if not for nothing, there's a safety and a linebacker that has them in their head on every single snap, which is going to take his eye off the ball momentarily for guys like A-Chain, Braxton Berrios, Chosen Anderson. But to me, A-Chain with the elite, just the fluidity, the way this guy moves with the ball in his hands. If I was going to say type of football player, he could end up in a category with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as a guy like that. And you can see him in a next to Tua in the shotgun, and Tua, it's on 3, we'll say, and next thing you know, he kicks his leg up, and here he goes all the way out wide, and now it's an empty backfield, and now you got 4 wide, and it's Waddle, Hill, and A-Chain, and Braxton Berrios. That is a shifty, speedy team right there. Yeah, they're not the biggest set of guys, but good luck catching an angle on any one of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Or keeping up, and if the blocking holds for 3 seconds, I don't give a damn. Somebody's open. Somebody is open. You're gonna have a mismatch. Some nickel corner who's the backup's gonna be sit up over A-Chain, and you're gonna go easy pickings over there. Easy pickings. And we're gonna be able to expose a lot of teams. And with the defense and complementing, I expect more turnovers. I expect the offense to get out. If this thing hits how it's supposed to hit, we could see the Dolphins run up some scores and really put teams in a bad situation where now an offense is having to get, if they're a running game team, they're going to have to abandon the run and throw on it. If they're trying to be a more balanced team, they're going to have to play right into what we want them to do. We want you to try to push the ball down the field because we're going to have guys like Javon Holland, Xavier Howard, and Ramsey that are going to just be in the position because Fangio is going to make sure, and they're going to snatch that football. Before long, you're going to turn around and you're down 17 points in a quarter. It was a close game. You know what I'm saying? It's third quarter, and the fourth quarter is getting ready to start, and the Dolphins with a turnover have scored, 10 points on offense. Defense gives them a short field. Now it's 17 points. You're down heading into the fourth quarter. You've got to abandon all game plan and go, all right, we got to start airing this thing out. And now the defense just like, come to Papa. Come to Papa. I'm going to let my dogs loose. They're going to freaking Jalen Phillips and Agba on the inside with some stunt moves. And I mean, the whole thing, they're just going to just rock them. They're going to eat their lunch. And, as far as a team helping each other, it just really seems like it plays into our hand. We got a speed offense. We got a quick scoring type of offense. If we got a defense that gives us, 1.5 more opportunities a game, that could be all she wrote for a lot of these other teams we're going to face.
Did I walked away a second. Did we already thank Liz for her membership renewal?
We did.
Oh, great,
Absolutely.
Great. Personal thank you to Liz, too. Thank you very much, Liz.
Yeah, man. Like you said, if everything goes according to plan, we should be one of the most dynamic teams in the league. And no team is a carbon copy of any other, right? A good coaching staff will take advantage of the talents of the players on the roster and devise something that maximizes their abilities. But the trend has been towards, a running back committee, a running back room, right? You saw Philadelphia employ that. And even KC too, with Pacheco on the inside stuff, and then you bring in who was it, Jerick McKinnon or Hilaire on some of the screens and some of the outside stuff. So the trend is to that committee mode, and yeah, A-Chain by all accounts and by the numbers he's put up, his speed, he looks like he can be a distinct weapon in our arsenal. The one thing I would say about our offense, and this I got to go back to my old coaches too. When it comes to facing guys with speed, I'm sure you were a linebacker, Cap, so you know what your coach used to tell you. Those speedy guys, what do you do? Knock their ass out.
You gotta put that weight on them, buddy. So
injury, I think, is like if you take out one or two cogs in our speed machine, then we may have some issues. It's like me, I'm more of a traditional football guy. I like the I formation, far near formation. Give me a fullback and a tailback, and let's roll, right? But I'm a dinosaur when it comes to that. I'll fully admit. And when the going gets tough, this is a question that I hope to see answered this season. That McDaniel can coach his way through these tough situations. I think this is one of the places where he was challenged a bit last season when the pressure was on and he needed to make strategic decisions, not necessarily go for everything, because he's good at that, right?
Yeah.
But when he had to win the war of attrition, I think that's where some of the panic set in, some of the delay set in, where our team's progress was held up. And so this team is built in his image for sure. But as you probably know, there's always going to be moments where we got to grind something out. We got to grind out a victory in the fourth quarter. So this is a question mark that I want to see answered this season. What's up, Ali? You're back?
Yeah, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've been having some technical difficulties with StreamYard. It's been delaying every other sentence you guys been saying, so I apologize. Yeah,
no worries, man.
Wanted to get it all corrected before tomorrow morning show. That's why I've been on and off testing it. But man, KP, you're on TFTG. It's a great day. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I liked what you said about the defense. I think the only position of need right now in the defense that I'm concerned about is the defensive tackle position. Go get a guy. And
so there is whispers of Akeem Hicks, being a guy that, once some cuts come and stuff like that, or get a little closer and camp, there might be a deal figured out.
I've been a big fan of Akeem Hicks for a while now. My only thing is I don't know if he's a nose tackle or traditional nose. He's more of an off defensive tackle.
I think in his latter years now,
Yeah.
he's looks like he's put a little bit extra on. I think he's the kind of guy you want just holding up gaps and blockers and letting not too dissimilar to Jenkins was, but probably a little bit more effective with the hand fighting than Jenkins was. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That's something I think is potential in our future. It's something there's been some whispers about too. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, defensively, just I look at, you made a great point. Ennis also had the same point about Raekwon Davis and the impact that if he becomes that dude in the middle, 100%. I'm looking at the linebacking core, and it's been a point of contention with the fan base and and concern that we don't have depth, this, that, and the third. And Ali kind of hammered this home the other day about Andrew Van Ginkel got a personal phone call from Vic Fangio. I don't know how many other guys on the defense did, but one guy we know for certain. And Ali, you put those words perfectly. He wanted him. He's got plans for him. And immediately we were all made aware of that it's as an inside linebacker that he's going to be. And I love Andrew Van Ginkel. I think everybody has a special place in their heart for a guy that plays the game like he does. I don't think anyone looked at him as an outside guy and thought that, just size and body type, that he should be a guy that would be positioned there, effective as he was at times in limited snaps, and just knowing how to use his leverage and speed and stuff to make sure his hand placements were right so he can beat these bigger and stronger guys that honestly he had no business beating a lot of times. To then take him and put him where he could probably shed a couple of pounds since now playing on a lot of defensive line. He's got the speed. If this kid, and I don't mean to disrespect it by saying a kid, but if this man steps up and becomes that centerpiece tackling machine, I think that even better serves Jerome Baker. I love when Jerome Baker comes off. He's a big boy. I like when he is fighting on the edge, coming using his speed on the blind side of a quarterback. It could really bode well for what I was talking about earlier, just a hybrid type of team, because both guys can play on the line, blitzing, and show that they're on the line, come into blitz, and drop right back into at that center linebacker position. And that's the type of stuff I'm expecting to see from Fangio. There's going to be guys that are linebackers that after the ball is snapped are now a blitzer. And there might be a guy who's an outside linebacker who's dropping back. There's going to be so many boom, 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 that even the most seasoned veteran quarterbacks and offensive coordinators are going to, from a down in and down out perspective, are going to get caught sleeping at the wheel. You've been looking at Andrew Van Ginkel playing middle linebacker for the last 2 series. Well, now he comes as an outside linebacker sitting there as a pass rusher, and you got to now kind of it just gives so much for someone to think about that it could just it's going to give, once the film gets out there too, week 6, week 7, and they're looking at the film and they're going to be like, damn it, we're going to give these offensive coordinators so much work to have to plan. Typically with an offense, you're giving the defense all the work by showing them stuff. You're going to give this week ahead of the Dolphin scheme. They could be sitting here planning all week for something that we're going to not even show them at all.
Yeah, I love where your energy is, El Cap. But the one thing I kind of disagree with is the amount of blitzing that you're referring to in regards to having the linebackers like Jerome Baker and stuff blitzing and stuff. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that. And I'm going to talk a lot more about that in depth tomorrow on Top of the Tailgate with Color. And the reason for that is if you look at the schemes that Vic Fangio has ran and the defenses that he has put together, and we're talking about multiple team top 5 defenses in his career history, right? it was not predicated on blitzing. In fact, they blitzed less than most other teams. It was he even stated in an interview that I'm not going to blitz, when I need to, or very much. I'm only going to blitz when I want to, not when I have to, not when it seems to be the right point. When he wants to is when he's going to bring the blitz. This defense is going to be predicated on turnovers, spying, and playing, putting the linebackers and the secondary in the proper positions to be ball hawking monsters. That's why we went and got Cam Smith. That's why Xavier Howard, I think, is going to have the best year he's had being a Dolphin this coming up year. There, I think, ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think this is going to be like what we've seen, what the zero blitz does in whatnot. You know what I mean? The cover, you know what I'm saying? I think that there's going to be a lot more going on in the coverage aspect and putting linebackers in the right gaps and everything. That's going to start that monstrosity of taking the ball away from offenses. I don't know what you guys think, but that's where I think. I don't think we're going to be blitzing that much. It's going to be a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I have an inkling of what shape this defense is going to ultimately take. I do, like we said earlier, see a lot of guys across the line that have multiple skills. They're not one-dimensional by any means. So you got to take advantage of that multiplicity. But I am a little bit. I'm not as high on the Andrew Van Ginkel experiment. Now I respect the guy's game, and his ability to get outside leverage. Guys rarely go outside of Van Ginkel. He handles his responsibility to the utmost. But inside, does he have the right instincts? Because a lot of times you have to take on blocks and shed, right? And you have to shade which hole you anticipate a running back. A lot of that stuff is instinctual. It's based on film study. Zach Thomas was the epitome of the guy who used his game film and his instincts but he played middle linebacker his whole life. See what I'm saying? So I don't know if Van Ginkel, if called upon, can be like the everyday middle linebacker going forward. There may be spots though where, as a blitzing linebacker from inside, he can take advantage of. He's got some athletic talent. He's got some size. He's got some strength going forward. But I don't know. I'd love to see it work. I'll tell you that much.
Well, Khary, I'd like to chime in there if you don't mind.
Go right ahead,
because it's an understandable concern. There's no doubt about that. And also, even if I were to give you an example for you to look to kind of give you an idea of what he is capable of, and an example of where his instincts are at, you could still say, well, that's a spot game. Well, so it answers your first question that, at least for myself, I've witnessed that he can do it when called upon. The second question you sort of had in that double question was, can he be called upon to do it consistently for a whole season in that role? That obviously remains to be seen. But I would point you to the Ravens game from two years ago when when Brissett played the first half and then Tua came in.
Right. Yeah. That was one of his best games. Yeah.
Well, the thing that I noticed was, in particular, one of your concerns about instincts was, and the ability to kind of diagnose what's going on. I think that he was actually pivotal in that game for us shutting down Lamar the way we did, because if you go look at the All-22 and kind of watch, he really has a good ability to not take the cheese too. So when that hole opens up, that's the obvious hole for the running back to go through, and the linebacker takes it, you know, and now Lamar is keeping the ball on the RPO and he's got the edge. You know, you're getting ripped for 20 yards. Whereas if that linebacker has patience and doesn't take that hole, he can shift down the line and force the quarterback who decided to keep the
Back
ball
inside.
to right or at least do, you know, play a waggle along out in the flat, giving enough time for the outside guy like Jalen Phillips in particular on a couple cases that night to wrap up the sack. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. That skill there.
But that's only one. I mean, that's one example, of course. But I'm just pointing
And I
out that
feel like
when
he's
called
got-
upon, he can. You know what I
He's
mean?
got the athletic ability to
Yeah,
be asked
he's
to
a
do that
sideline.
too.
He can be a sideline to sideline kind of guy. Let me just refine what I'm suggesting though is that as a point of attack guy in the middle, I think that's still a question that needs to be answered. But I agree with you. The sideline to sideline ability is definitely his strength. You know,
Right,
and
the
he's
ability to
exemplified
snuff out
that
that
in
read
one.
option. You know what I mean? He just, you know,
So the
he's got
reason-
great patience.
The reason I'm so high on Van Ginkel, it translating well as a middle linebacker, is that okay? There is concerns that when one of these guards or tackles or centers gets to the second level, is he going to be able to get off of a guy that gets out there to him? But I've seen him beat guys again that he has no business beating on the edge, locked in, and be able to use his. The guy is so much stronger than he appears to be.
No, physically, he's got no. I mean, he's ready physically.
So but again, his sideline to sideline speed. Now, okay, if a guard, when you're playing middle linebacker and a guard comes off, you know, out to the second level, and he's supposed to get you and block you on the inside, pushing you to the weak side of the formation. So then the running back is going to come behind him and hit that hole and bust out to the other end. There's that concern. You know, he gets the wrong angle, steps to the left when he should have stepped to the right or whatever. I just wonder, are these guys even going to be able to get a hand on him coming downfield on his ass? You know what I'm saying? So it is something to be seen. We'll have to see how that pans out. But if he's a guy that guesses right more often than guessing wrong, he's going to be plugging up running holes that could really bode well for us. You know, and now in the passing game, we've seen him be effective in the flat. We've seen him run around, you know, chasing tight ends, chasing running backs. You know, there is a concern, and any good offensive coordinator is going to try to figure a way to get you to match up your linebackers with one of their slot wide receivers. That's what they want to do, you know. But I think Fangio's scheme with the zone and how he's going to run all that is going to alleviate where your duties lie within a reasonable amount. And with good coaching as far as where you want to put your hands when they're trying to catch a ball out in front of you, even though they're in front of you and they've got the, you know, point A to point B direct line of sight with the quarterback, and he's going to put it out there. If that quarterback isn't putting it exactly where it needs to be, you're going to be able to get out there and get your hands out in front and stop that completion from being made. And I think we got the right cast of characters to really find out who's going to do that best and who's not going to end up, you know, a guy that we're going to get exposed for. And we've got guys that, you know, yeah, okay, maybe this dude's just a little bit too fast for this guy. But we've got someone that can step in and can accommodate for what they're chewing us up with.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you know, I'll go into more detail tomorrow because I don't want to, you know, take the thunder away from the presentation that me and Color are going to do. But the one part of the main philosophy of Vic Fangio's defense is stopping the run. And that, you said it yourself, Van Ginkel tracks those running backs and gets himself in those lanes every time. He's always a part of, if he wasn't the one finishing the tackle, he's the one that started it, or vice versa. And I think he does that so well. And the fact that I think one of the main philosophies is, you know, focusing on stopping the run that sets up everything else. I just see him being a, you know, very big focal point of that. Now, will he be inside all the time? Probably not. You know, that's, you know, we don't know, but I definitely see them using him in the inside. He also brings size to the position where that's somewhere we're lacking. You look at our linebacker core; they're not very big, to be honest. So that's another thing he brings.
Exactly, exactly. And one other thing, Ali, real quick, if you don't mind me interrupting for just a second, to speak to Khary's concerns again, and this as relates to Fangio, and maybe I'm patting myself on the back too much, but I just feel like Fangio got in the building, saw tape like the game I'm talking about, and said, what the heck are we doing? And came out and was like, we're going to use this guy on the inside. Bet that. You know what I mean?
Listen.
And, well, one other thing, too, is that it's one of the reasons I don't push back too hard on people when they kind of blame Boyer for being the difference and why we saw some issues on defense this year. And if you look at the way we approached the Ravens game this year, I mean, Lamar took one to the house on us for 79 yards. You know what I mean? So there obviously Boyer was doing something different than Flores decided to do as relates to maybe the utilization of one Andrew Van Ginkel.
Possibly, yeah. And listen, if you look at the way offenses have evolved over the years, 80% of the plays are from a shotgun look, or a pistol formation, right? With the three receivers in the game. You're mostly playing with two traditional linebackers anyway. So that old inside linebacker is a bit of a dinosaur, a first and second round guy. And so, yeah, I mean, like I said, AVG has the skills to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that he's the kind of guy who looks like he has what it takes. But we'll see. We'll see how he has the potential. He checks all the boxes athletically. But again, I think with David Long, he's more of a proven commodity in how to handle himself inside. Despite being a smaller linebacker, he really reminds me a lot of Zach Thomas, that old London Fletcher, Mike Singletary, guys who you might not think should be as successful inside, but because of their instincts, because they played that position their whole life, looking at the game from the middle of the field, they're able to just make plays that they ought not to because of their physicality. And it's an instinctual thing.
And really it hinges on those guys have one thing in common a lot too. Excellent vision. They all have excellent vision. The instincts, yes, but when you have the vision, you can see the forest through the trees. And as a linebacker, you gotta go, okay, I have these details. I can't let this happen. But when I'm looking at this setup, if I see this happen with the offensive line, I see that, I'm looking at it. You got to kind of use a lot of peripheral. I'm watching the running back. I'm watching the quarterback. I'm watching the whole offensive line. There's motion coming, da-da-da-da-da. You only have so many jobs that you need to take care of. When you see this tackle immediately take a step back and he starts rolling around the end, you're now starting to cheat over. Like, okay, this quarterback ends up handing this ball off to this guy coming on a sweep on the other end. I know that's going to be the lead blocker, and if that's the case, I'm going to put my foot in the ground and catch him on that angle. I'm going to catch him on. He's going to try to come out the edge, and before that, as soon as the running back goes round in that corner, he ain't never going to see me coming. But if he doesn't, and that quarterback tucks and rolls the other way and is going to look for that friggin' bootleg throw, I'm going to sit back and cheat back over. Now, he might have to run on me because I'm now where he was going to put the ball, but at least I've got him in front of me. And now that's where linebackers really start blowing.
And this is all going on, guess who's catching up to the edge? Jalen Phillips.
That's right.
Yeah, but Captain said something really good there about vision and keeping the players in front of them. there's a guy that's on this roster currently that I'm rooting for. And I know he's the underdog, but he has really good vision, not just ensuring that he's in the right position to finish the tackle, but he's also really good in coverage. Let's not forget, KP, a guy you and I talked about, Aubrey Miller.
Yeah.
He's a name to not forget about that could be this year's Cater Kahoo, possibly. Who knows? Who knows?
Wow.
I can tell you what I saw on tape. He may not have been making sacks in the backfield all the time, but he was definitely finishing the tackles. Players were not getting past him, and that's something that we had a big problem with last season. And
Yep.
and if you look at how he scored in coverage, I think that's a guy that Vic Fangio wants on his team. He likes what he could do with him. He is my dark horse out of all of the undrafted players to make this team for sure.
Oh yeah, I want to see what Miller succeed too, man. I mean, I saw him play firsthand last year when at the Orange Blossom Classic when his Jackson State team destroyed FAMU at the Dolphin Stadium, and he was knocking guys out in that game. So, if you can bring a little bit of that to our team, we'll be the better for it for sure, man. But yeah, man, like going back to AVG, in terms of being the kind of inside guy who's going to shut down those outside zone runs, sweeps and shit like that, I have no doubt that's going to, he's perfect for that. He's perfect for that kind of look.
And people in the chat are asking if Aubrey plays edge. No, he's an inside linebacker. That's where he's going to fit most, and we have a need for that. So that's why
not for nothing. Just as a low key depth guy for special teams. You know what I'm saying? We always need guys like that around here.
Oh, did you guys see that report that we may be bringing in Reuben Foster?
So yes, shout out to Chris on Twitter. He's been pushing for Reuben Foster for a long time. I remember when Reuben Foster was coming out in the draft, I badly wanted the Dolphins to take him.
He is a freaking maniac.
We ended up taking Charles Harris, which just I was like, who? I didn't, I knew of him, but I like those flash in the pan pass rush. I get it in hindsight, pass rushers, this, that, and the third. But it was like a repeat of when we got the dude from Oregon that I don't even want to remember. Oh, what's up, Big John? What's going on, buddy?
Big John, what up?
I can't I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. What was I saying?
Reuben Foster.
Oh yeah, Reuben Foster. He was a guy I badly wanted us to draft, and now he had some injuries, had some personal stuff, things like that. But a guy that's completely turned around his whole deal. Dolphin fans, we were clamoring for him last year. They brought him in. He didn't really get the thing. There was concern about his game shape and playing. Well, he's been at the USFL. He's been making some noise over there. A real leader on that team. And if he gets brought in and is brought just to compete, I mean, if these are the guys that we're bringing in for depth guys, that just shows you how
stacked the team is.
How stout this team is, man. I mean, I want him on the team because I think he brings something what we all want our linebackers to do. When that open lane and you got the speed and you get that inside track and you just you're making running backs and wide receivers and tight ends that got the football coming across the line. When you start making them think of you, when they got to account for you because they're like, man, buddy just lit me up.
Reuben Foster is a freaking maniac.
He's a maniac, bro.
He used to be a run-stopping machine.
Yeah, the way he takes on running backs, man, or at least back in the day, he destroyed running backs. He gave it all up. So if he's anywhere near what he used to be, then he was a scary guy, man.
Yeah, I've watched the workout videos and tapes of him. He looks like he's in really great shape. I'm glad he found a home in the USFL, at least to show he still has game speed and his body has some type of game experience. Yeah, exactly. And he could show that he could still play. I'd bring him in a heartbeat if they haven't already. So definitely.
Yeah, I think it would behoove the Dolphins to bring him in, not for nothing, to see what he's got and what he can offer this football team, and if it's an upgrade to somebody else, if it's someone that, hey, all things equal, maybe the veteran presence, for guys like Tyndall. Yeah, coach too.
If I'm the coach, I bring him in and I tell Aubrey Miller, look, dude, it's going to be you or him.
That's
right.
If
I'm his position coach, you got to beat this guy out. Do you have what it takes?
And he was drafted after Fangio. He was drafted by the Niners after Fangio was already there. They implemented that system. When they wanted the linebackers for the Fangio system that we're talking about, that they continued to run after he left using the Fangio tree, it was him they brought in to be that centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Round and round, all things come full circle if the guy ends up over here in a Fangio scheme with the Dolphins all of a sudden. A team that he's expressed a more than willingness and a desire to be with. Now, if the young man gets an opportunity from somebody else, God bless him and him and his family, and hopefully it works out to his favor. I just know that the facts are that, he would like to be here. What up, Ennis? I see you, homie.
There was Reuben Foster. There was no doubt that he was an NFL talented inside linebacker.
No doubt.
Just he was supposed to be a champion guy. Yeah.
Just some injuries and one off-field thing early on that kind of just got away from him. And I don't think that needs to be the end of the story is kind of the thing. I feel like there's a lot more to that story and greatness. But we haven't even talked on the secondary, a name that I think gets kind of lost a little bit in the shuffle. A couple of names, especially in the secondary. Brandon Jones. What's this man? What's going to be with that? Where's he going to be? He was, before the injury, his trajectory was literally straight up on how he was playing the game. Nick Needham, a guy that came in when we were banged up in the safety position, not only didn't get exposed, but played rather well. As a multiple weapon, you can have him play the nickel, you can have him play safety, you can have him play boundary. These are the types of things I look at with the team we already possess, that how are you going to know who's doing what? How are you going to be an offensive coordinator or a quarterback, and you just, you've done your film. You're looking at Nick Needham play the nickel. But now you're looking out there, and he's the solo safety sitting at the top. You're like, hold on a sec. There's going to be times where teams you're going to be watching. I'm projecting a little here now. There's going to be time where we're going to see this team sitting there, and you're going to look at the formation and who's in what positions, and we're going to go, what the hell? And the offense can be like, timeout. Wait, what the hell are they doing right now? You know what I'm saying? And it might just be a joke, like they come back around and they might do something. But there's very, very, very few times I think we're going to be able to be exposed.
Yeah.
Able to be exposed.
Yeah, listen, our DBs last season, they battled, man, all the way down to Justin Bethel. He did some good things too, so the competition in that room is at the highest level. I see Ennis in the comments talking about Trill Williams. Yeah, man.
Williams, another sleeper. Big time
prototype
sleeper.
Outside corner, you know what I'm saying? It looks like he got bigger in a couple pictures that I've seen. So.
I expect him to play a role at both corner and safety this year.
Yeah,
me too. I see him and Nick Needham as carbon copies for what they plan to use to maintain a healthy snap count. So, we're not burning guys like Brandon Jones out. We're not burning Javon Holland out. We're not burning Jalen Ramsey playing down in the box out. And Cater Kohu's going to have his part in all that too. We're going to be able to rotate guys in. So the guys we're going to need in big moments and big games late in the year and in the playoffs are going to be there and be healthy to execute at a high level. That's
almost like we have one guy too many one or two guys too many in the defensive backfield.
So I think there's going to be a surprise cut.
Yeah, me too.
And we're gonna look at a guy that's going to end up somewhere else and be a day one starter on another team late in the year addition. You know what I'm saying? And that's, again, shout out to Chris Greer and what they've done to that secondary. That's how stout and full of a room that we have gotten to at this point. It's really good.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, this team is stacked, man. The team, there's nowhere you can look at as a glaring weakness right now, just as a question mark, but definitely not a weakness. I'm just anxious for this damn training camp to open and for us to see this thing on the field, man. Because I don't want to lose my summer either, because I am on vacation right now. But damn it, I it's time to rock and roll, man. Let's go. Let's lace them up. Let's go, man.
Yeah, I think we all ready for. I mean, listen. It's the off season again. Lots of love, lots of hype, lots of good stuff. We have things we need answers to. We still have questions. And there's a big push again to get Dalvin Cook around here. And I guess, for the last 20 minutes of the show, we'll talk on this subject. I'm not opposed to having Dalvin Cook come to this football team. I will never, ever. You say, oh, we're going to get DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, we're going to get Dalvin Cook. Bring them all. But we also look at, we got to live within the realm of a cap space in some aspects. And I don't want to see an addition cause a subtraction that creates a bigger hole than necessary.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like on the Cook issue, I'm high on Cook, right? I've been a fan of Dalvin Cook since he was a high school player down here. I believe Miami Central here in Dade County. He's been I hated when he went to Florida State, but he was great there too. But I worry about, even though I support him and I see his talent, I worry about the chemistry that we have in that running back room with Wilson and Mostert. Those guys will go all out. They'll sacrifice limbs for one another. You know what I'm saying? And I would hate to break that up, but at the same time, I think Dalvin Cook is an obvious upgrade. And if you bring him in, you've got to remake that running back room completely. As long as you hold on to A-Chain, whatever other two guys.
A-Chain's got to be the future. Well, hopefully. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if
Cook,
he becomes
A-Chain,
the future, it's an amazing thing for us Dolphin fans.
It would have to be Cook, A-Chain, and any other two guys. But again, I hate breaking up that Mostert Wilson. I think Wilson's going to have a big year. Again, I was high on Wilson when we traded for him. Mm-hmm. But help he always picks up a nagging injury.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he always picks up a nagging. And you know what? I got some thoughts on that too, man. As a former running back, we were in an era where you look at a guy like Wilson. He's probably got like less than 2% body fat, man. And is
the players are such a great shape.
Exactly, man. I like when the running backs are a little bit more chunky, man. You need to add some fat, man, to protect those joints, man. You might get a tad slower. You might not run a 4.45. You might run a 4.49. But come on, it's good enough, man. I think so. I'd like to see what a healthy Wilson can do for the year. I'm a fan of his.
Doc was on the program the other day. Shout out to Doc Brown, Reginald Brown. And he talked about, we asked a question, these injuries, these nagging injuries and stuff like that. And we were talking about alternative medicines and, progressive things with mushrooms and stuff like that. And whatever. Psychedelic, any of that. We were all off on a crazy thing. But something he said, and it's something we talk about, like, a couple of these guys had a little bit of carbohydrates. They had a couple beers. Sure. Not, listen, being completely healthy, all that stuff, there is something to say where you overwork and a strain can be added as well. And, he also said these guys work year round. Your body needs to heal and some of that stuff. So, look, again, with so much being emphasized on speed in this game, it is the fastest NFL it has ever been, and it ain't even close. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it takes, and it's a shame because,
That ain't
like,
a lot.
it's, these guys, that it is what it is. I think that's just part of it. So, to me, the answer to it all is we need about 4 more spots on every roster in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need a little bit more money for these teams to give to a couple more players. I mean, 20. I think give us 4 more spots and 20 more million for every team out there, and then see how this works out and where you can allocate those types of funds and how you want to do it and work it out. But you said something there, KP, a second ago that, Cook's addition and subtraction to anyone in the running back room outside of A-Chain, because you got to take into account the future with A-Chain. There's no denying the obvious leaps and bound upgrade. But here's the thing: when I take into account the type of money I believe a running back like Cook deserves and is going to want, isn't really the role the Dolphins are going to ask of him. We are a running back by committee. I don't want him taking 70% of the snaps at running back. I do want it in key situations. I do want it in, certain games. Maybe he gets every single snap because he's just going off. And that's the type of stuff you're going to have to feed a guy like that at times. But I'm more interested in him being 100%, no nagging injuries, no nothing in the later part of the season where you're gonna break up. Yeah, you might get the bulk of the snaps at 35%, and the remainder 60% or whatever's left, 65% is given up to these other guys. So we're not gonna drive you into the dirt. We're not gonna find ourselves in the latter part of the season without you. And that's what I want. And I want that to reflect in the money he's going to be willing to take. Now that's up to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's a pitch I think the Dolphins need to really drive home, that, hey, I know it's not the $8, $9, $10 million guaranteed you want, but we're not going to beat $8, $9 million worth of fucking football into you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you 5.5, maybe pushing it with 6. And we're going to make sure that we're accommodating and not abusing your, I don't want to say charity, but your good faith in us to not go, hey, now you got 70% of the snaps and, this might be the last year in your career because we're going to have you carry, the ball 100,000 times. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the situation. I hope it can find a resolution, because it would really be the icing, it'd be the cherry on top of this Sunday.
I was just about to use that analogy, man, because when you look at Dalvin Cook, if you get him on this team, he may just be that. He may be the talent we need so that teams cannot defend at all, So, icing on the cake, cherry on the top, whatever metaphor you want to use, man. I see that Cook at this stage of his career, he's going to be hungry for a Super Bowl, because that would certify his bid for that Hall of Fame later on. I mean, the only thing that stopped him up to this point has been, his shoulder injuries, and the fact that Minnesota hasn't, really
they never made no postseason noise.
Yeah, exactly. So he needs that for, selfishly from his own personal perspective. So, I'm rooting for him, man. But
he still deserves good money above market value for what things are, or at market value. But to, if you want, add to the legend.
And let me be unpopular here for a second. Even the number 3 and number 4 guy, I like Gaskins still. I still think Gaskins got something to contribute to the team. As I like Ahmed too in certain situations. I know a lot of people aren't high on Gaskin, but I think he was given a kind of a raw deal in his last go around in terms of, he was put into some tough situations, and then he was battling an injury himself. So, but anyway, I mean, I like our running back room as it stands. I won't be mad if we go in to it with the 4 guys we have.
People ask, why are we upgrading a room that we already brought everyone back? We already have guys here. Part of if you look at what Kyle Shanahan has done and what San Francisco has gone through over the past, we'll just go back 4 years. And even when Raheem Mostert was there, their running back room gets injured because this type of offense is so grueling over and over again. And you need to have guys in here. You need to have guys that are very similar in here. That's why we have A-Chain. That's why we have Mostert. And that's why Dalvin Cook would kind of be similar to that. That's why I kind of think, in my opinion, Jeff Wilson is the one that is on the bubble right now. If we were to bring in a Cook, I think he would be the one. And plus, he's said himself, he doesn't want to. When he left San Francisco, he didn't want to split, carries. He wanted to have a lot more carries, and bringing in Dalvin Cook here, I don't know if he'd want to be here, to be honest.
I think he was more saying he wants to be where he wants to be. Jeff Wilson's time in San Francisco, he was getting squeezed out, and then, uncharacteristically, because San Francisco for far, has made good with just mid-round running backs that were perfect scheme fits, and they've done well with that. A little bit out of the realm of how they usually have got it. They went and got Christian McCaffrey, which, hey, it's Christian McCaffrey. Nobody can, you can't really push back on that. Now, there is some people on the other end that say, hey, look, you bring Cook here, he will be our Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That might be. And listen, I could be irritated because of the money all day because of how I think it implicates negative impacts on this team. But he comes in for whatever money they give him, and it is more than I'm comfortable with. But he's our Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you'll get zero pushback from the kid on that, dog. That's being said.
Hey, any credence to this DeAndre Hopkins rumor, or it's just off-season chat?
I think it's more just off-season, chitter chatter, pitter patter. I think if you were to ask D-Hop, there's not a player in the NFL that's worth his salt that doesn't look at the Dolphins and see the writing on the wall. That's just a fact. He's got to be looking at this team and thinking the same thing, like, damn, if I was on the Dolphins with all the talent that they got, we would be unstoppable. He's made his bag. He's made his money. They always want to make more, and I don't blame them. It's a limited shelf life on here. But there is something to say about these guys and the love for the game. You don't do this the way they do it and work your body to the bone and not love this game. It's just not. It's impossible. At this time, if you ain't in love with this game, you'll wash out soon enough. Like other guys we've seen around here, especially with the Dolphins. But could he come in on a 1-year deal and make it? Sure. I don't know how that works as far as this, that, and the other. I don't see how it's feasible and makes sense financially. But again, that ain't my job, not my problem, my friend. If he can get here and you can make it happen, Captain, because I'm ready for some of that.
Yeah, great receiver. But like with Cook, he's looking for that Super Bowl too to certify his legacy.
I say bring them both and quit fucking around. Get them all in here. Bring them both. Fuck it. Let's go negative football, 30 mil in the cap next year. If it gets me the Super Bowl this year, I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. Man. Get them all in here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. So, all right, let's get to some final thoughts. Color, let's start with you, buddy.
Yes, sir. I wholeheartedly agree with both of you, man. I think we're poised and ready to go. On the D-Hop thing, hey, I think it could be a situation like it was last year where we bring in a guy like Cedric and then get Tyreek, not expecting to get Tyreek. And, I think we brought in Robbie Anderson, I think precisely for the same skill set that D-Hop offers, albeit D-Hop is better at it. You know what I mean? So that would be an upgrade. People would say, oh, well, D-Hop wouldn't play a wide receiver 3 position, but it's really not about that. It's about how we utilize them. And, I mean, other than that, I think it's great that, cooler heads are finally prevailing across the community, and we're poised to root
We're poised to
hard,
be
do
here
our
for the
job as
victory
fans.
party,
You know what I mean?
Keller.
That's all we can do.
We're poised to be here together for the victory party. That's what we poised for.
Yep.
All right, Color. I'll see you in the morning with Ali
Yes, sir.
for top of the tailgate. Can't wait to catch it.
Yes, sir.
Ali is really sold up on that. So, Ali, some final thoughts.
My final thought would be make sure you hit like and subscribe. Shout out to the real KP up in the house. And I love you all. Fins up, man. That's my final thought.
All right. Appreciate you, Ali. See you. I'll see you in the morning on that episode. Before we get to KP's final thoughts, guys, make sure to check out the website, tftgnetwork.com. Got all kinds of great stuff on there. Make sure to check.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process makes shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
So yeah, guys, check out the website. Put a lot of work into it. Got a lot of cool stuff coming. KP, some final thoughts.
Well, Chris, man, and Finn's Tailgate crew, man, I just want to thank you guys for the invite, man. It was a pleasure having this powwow tonight, talking about our Dolphin fantasies and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and thanks for including me, man. I feel like, I'm certainly not the official authority on all things Dolphins, but I'd like to think that I represent some of the local South Florida, deep South Miami Dolphin fans, Perrine, Richmond Heights, Homestead, you know what I'm saying, Kendall, all the way through Alapata, the city, you know what I'm saying. I can't say born and raised, but certainly raised, who, often we may not go to every single game, we may not be at the every single tailgate, but we're always watching, we're always listening. We may not always call in on the shows, but we're chopping it up in our own neighborhoods and communities right here in Miami. So I want to shout out to all the Dolphins out there who've been long suffering like myself and are aching for a winner that represents us all, man. So
we want it. We need it.
Yeah, man. So thanks again, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up and doing some co-hosting with me. I'd like to do it, here and there and some regular stuff. Hang out backstage. We'll chat it up just a little bit. I'll holler at you backstage in a little bit, KP. But sorry about that. Oop, I'll see you backstage. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, what have you, make sure you guys are coming over to YouTube, subscribing here, help the channel grow. We're trying to do big things, trying to do everything we can to create different content, different creators, different types of stuff, from all the smoke to all the other nonsense to, productive conversations like tonight, a little bit in depth. You guys make sure to check out Ali and Color with Top of the Tailgate in the morning. Shake and Lou going to have Dr. Brown on tomorrow for the midday. It's just good stuff coming around here, guys. We're really grinding, putting it in, and we hope everyone is enjoying it. And if you are, make sure to like and share, because there's other Dolphin fans out there. They should be here hanging out, having a good time. And we need your guys' help for that. And we really appreciate all the help you guys do, the donate, the members of the program. You guys are the lifeblood, and it humbles us all the time. It's why we put in the time, we put in the work, and we will continue to do so as long as there's just, one lonely Dolphin fan out there that needs this in their life. We want to try to find that person. We appreciate you guys helping us get there. So hit the like button, share the video, and see you guys next time. Fins up.